everyone, welcome to Tennessee's At Home Learning Series for Math. Today's lesson is for all of our first graders out there, but anyone is more than welcome to tune in. Today's lesson is the ninth lesson in our series. I'm Miss Sarah, and I'm a first grade teacher at Baxter Primary School in the Putnam County School System. I'm so excited that I get to be your teacher again today for math. Welcome to our virtual classroom. If you haven't had a chance to see our previous lessons, you can find them on the Tennessee Department of Education's website at www.tn.gov/education. You can still tune in to today's lesson if you would like, but it might be a little bit more fun if you go back and watch all of those lessons first, because we are going to be using what we learned in those lessons to help us with our new learning today. Today we'll be learning more about how to use a number path to find missing numbers in addition and subtraction equations. We will also be getting into numbers larger than 10. Before we get started, to participate fully in today's lesson, you are going to need paper to write on, a pencil, and number paths, which we will create together in just a moment. Okay, let's begin. To get ready for our lesson today, let's go ahead and get our workspace ready. I'm going to lay out some paper and something to write with. I'm going to use a marker so that you can see, but you'll probably be using a pencil. And you go ahead and lay out your paper and pencil as well. We are going to be using a tool today called a number path, which we built yesterday as well. Today's number path is going to go to the number 15. Our number path yesterday only went to the number 10, so we're going to draw these together again today. You're going to need to make 3 number paths, so let's do those together. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to draw a long, skinny rectangle. You want to leave enough space above it for us to write our equations. All right. You draw your long, skinny rectangle. Excellent. Now, this is where it's going to start to get different from what we did yesterday. Yesterday, we drew 9 vertical lines. Today, we're going to draw 14 vertical lines. So our spaces will be a little bit smaller today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. After you've done that, you're going to go ahead and number your number path. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm going to give you a moment to get caught up to where I am. Excellent. Now we're going to draw 2 more number paths just like that. Make sure to give yourself a little bit of space between for us to write those equations. So I'm going to skip a little bit of space, and I'm going to draw my long, skinny rectangle. And then I will go and add my 14 vertical lines. I'm going to do that and then number my number path and go ahead and begin on my last number path. While I'm doing my last 2 number paths, I want you to be doing the same too. Go ahead, get started. Your number paths look wonderful. Remember that they do not have to be perfect. Our spaces do not have to be the exact same size, and our lines don't have to be perfectly straight. So if they're not perfectly straight and your spaces aren't the same size, that's okay. As long as you have 1 through 15 on your number path, they are going to be perfect for today's lesson. I want you to take your number path and I want you to put it to the side because you won't be needing them for a few minutes. For our first set of problems, we're going to practice finding a missing number for the sum or the difference up to 20. This is going to help prepare us for working with equations with unknowns in any position of the equation. Let's take a look at our first problem. This problem states that 6 plus 7 equals some number. How can we use addition to find the missing number? For our first set of problems, we are going to practice finding a missing number for the sum or the difference up to 20. This is going to prepare us for working with equations that has the unknown in any position of the equation. Let's take a look at our first problem. The problem states 6 plus 7 equals some number. How can we use addition to find the missing number? I heard some really wonderful strategies. Let's use the counting on strategy to help us find that missing number. To do that with a number path, and remember, I'm going to model for you how to do that. And then in a few minutes, you guys will get a chance to practice with the number paths that you created. I want you to first circle the number 6. If you want to use your number path, I want you just to touch the number 6 instead of drawing on it. We circled the number 6, or we touched the number 6, because it is the first number in our equation. Now we will make 7 hops to show that we are counting on and stop after we have hopped 7 times, because it says 6 plus 7. And when we do that, we are showing that we are adding 7. We're counting on 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What number did I land on? Right, I landed on the number 13. You guys did an amazing job. I want you to stand up and I want you to jump up and down 13 times. Excellent. Now we are ready to do our second problem. I'm going to read the problem out loud. The problem states 13 minus 7 equals some number. Now, I want you to take a look at 13 minus 7. How can you use the first problem to find the missing number in this problem? Yes, absolutely. We could solve this problem by hopping forward or hopping backwards. I think I will find the missing number by hopping forward on my number path. You can touch your number path and do this along with me if you would like. I'm going to start at the number 7, and I am going to hop until I make it to the number 13. So I'm going to stop when I make it to 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many hops did it take to make it from the number 7 to the number 13? That's right. It took 6 hops. So when we fill in the answer, 13 minus 7 equals 6. And this relates back to what we did in our first one, because 6 plus 7 is 13. We've got some numbers in the same fact family there. Let's use the exact same problem, 13 minus 7 equals some number, to solve the problem another way. This time, I am going to start my path at the number 13. I want you to follow along with me. Next, I will count back 7 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What number did I land on? 6. Do you see that I was able to find the same answer to the same problem, but doing it 2 different ways? Excellent. When we hopped back to 7, we landed on 6. That means that 6 is still our missing number. Excellent job. I want you to stand up and I want you to touch your toes 6 times. You just used what you know about addition to help you solve a subtraction problem, and that is pretty cool stuff. We are ready for our next problem. This time, you are going to be using your number path and that pencil that we prepared earlier in our lesson. So go ahead and grab out your number path and get ready to solve this problem. I'm going to read this problem, and I would love for you to read along with me. 14 cherries are in a snack bag. Maddie eats some. Now there are 9 cherries. How many cherries did Maddie eat? What tool do you think we are going to use to help us solve this problem? Yes, we are going to use our number path today to help us solve this problem. We can either count on or we can count back to solve this. How many cherries did Maddie start with first? Right. She started with 14 cherries, and I know that because I can find it in the first sentence of our problem. 14 cherries are in a snack bag. I'm going to go ahead and begin writing a number sentence, an equation. What happens next in the story? Right. Maddie eats some. Do we know what number that is yet? No, we don't know that yet. So I'm going to draw a blank to stand for or to represent some. How many does Maddie have at the end of our problem? Right. It says that she has 9 cherries at the end. So I'm going to put equals 9. So now our problem states 14 minus some number equals 9. Now, let's look at our number path. Where should we start? I heard some of you say that we could count back and start at the number 14. So we are going to start at the number 14 today. I want you to take your pencil and I want you to circle the number 14. To count back, we are going to make hops on our paper and we are going to stop when we make it to the number 9 because we know that she started with 14, some were taken away, and at the end she has 9 left. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many hops did it take to count back from 14 to 9? Right, it took 5 hops. Fantastic job. I'm going to add 5 into my equation to make it true. Now it reads 14 minus 5 equals 9. You did an excellent job. I want you to pat yourself on the back. Now, we used counting back and subtraction to help us solve the problem. But how could we use addition to help us find the missing number? Right. We can count on from 9 and then stop at 14 to know how many were taken. I want you to circle the number 9. After you do that, I want you to make hops on your path until you make it to the number 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many hops did it take you to go from the number 9 to the number 14? Did you get 5 too? Me too. Wonderful job counting on to find that missing number. Number paths are really quite fun, aren't they? They let us have a choice. And I don't know about you, but I love getting to make a choice about how I learn best and how I do math best. So they let us have a choice of counting on or counting back to find those missing numbers. For our very last problem, you will be doing a missing number problem all by yourself. I want you to follow along as I read this next problem. 15 basketballs are on the court. Some roll away. Now there are 8 basketballs on the court. How many basketballs roll away? You can use your last number path to help you find the missing number. Remember, you can count on or you can count back. Are you ready? I'm going to give you a moment to solve that problem. I'm going to write the equation here for you again, and it is 15 minus some number equals 8. So you can either count on or count back to help you solve that problem. You may begin. All right. I want you to hop on one foot if you counted on. Do that 2 times. All right, now I want you to clap your hands 2 times if you counted back. That was fun. What did you get as your missing number? 7? If you got 7 as your missing number, you are so right. I am going to solve this problem counting on to see if I get 7 too. I am going to start at the number 8, and I'm going to count on until I get to the number 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you got 7 too? Awesome. I can complete my number sentence by writing the number 7 into the equation. And now it reads 15 minus 7 equals 8. I want you to keep up the great work. Today, we reviewed how to find a missing number using addition and subtraction. I hope that you're starting to see some connections to our counting on and counting back that we did in previous lessons. You sure did a great job. After the video, you will have some time to do some independent practice. I'm going to go ahead and read you those problems now, or you can go on to our website, www.tn.gov/education. And then after the show, you can solve those problems on your own. "15 minus some number equals 9. It's very similar to the very last problem we did. Blank plus 6, or some number plus 6 equals 14. And then the last one, some number plus 5 equals 15. Remember that you have a choice about whether or not you count on or count back. So you make the choice about what's the best fit for you and see if you can find the correct answer. I enjoyed reviewing how to find the missing number in an equation with you today. Thank you for inviting me into your homes again. I look forward to seeing you next time on Tennessee's At Home Learning Series. Bye, everybody.